Hey there, what's going on? How's everybody tonight? I know it's been a minute since I streamed, despite, my intentions to stream more often, and I apologize for that, but I was up against sort of a hard deadline when it comes to my website. So I kind of had to focus on a project for it, and there was a time limit there. Basically, it was an MMO subscription that I did not want to renew, but I had to finish a certain amount of content before that subscription window. So I stopped streaming for, I guess it's been about a week and a half, but I'm back, and we are going to get back into it on a regular basis. That's a promise. That is a promise. Starting with tonight. Now, tonight's stream may not be particularly long, because I'm going to kind of step back into it, but we are definitely getting back into a almost daily stream, starting with tonight's episode. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and kill this music, and let's get the game going here. Let's get the game up and running. So we're going to pick right up where we left off last time. Which, the last time we played Crusaders of the Dark Savant, we had just finished the fun house. And why is my light not bright tonight? Why is my light not up? Anyways, we had just finished the fun house. There we go. Just finished the fun house portion of the game and found ourselves in the mountains outside. Now, these mountains looked very similar to the mountains we had found previously. So I don't know if it's the same mountains where we were collecting the flowers earlier, or if this is a different set. I just don't remember. It's been a long time since I've played. But here we are, right where we left off, specifically. This was the back door into the Ratkin ruins. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick rest. Well, actually, I don't need to save because we just loaded a save, but we're going to rest up. Just for good measure. And we're going to go ahead and explore these mountains. Now, when we look at the game here, obviously we see the sky and this rock. It's supposed to be mountains. But again, this is a game from 91, 92, so comparing this to the other Wizardry games, this was quite a bit to look at. Much prettier than what had come before. So, let's get our spells up. Enchanted Blade, we're going to max it out. We're going to do magic screen is what we want. Magic screen. Detect secret. And which way do we want to go? So we took a couple steps this way. Let's proceed. Vampire vultures. So the plan at this point is to just sort of wander around the mountains, see what might be here. After we do this, the next stop, I have two things in mind. The Dane Tower of Dionysius, and go back to New City and see what we can do with the boat, because we've got information on the boat. But I still want to explore this mountain area. See if we can find the rest of those flowers. That's a quest from all the way back in Monkarama. These vultures are pretty tough. Man. And we're hitting too. They're just that tough. We're just gonna whack at them though. There we go. Ooh, the pointed spires of scowling black mountains loom upwards, towering into the sky, and you feel a rush, slight rush, saddened with awe and ominous foreboding. Okay. That was nothing, right? That was a dead end. Okay. A little flavor text there. Mana groves. We know what to do here, right? We're gonna sizzle these guys a little bit. There's one down. Blah, 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 blah. All right, one more left. Okay. All right, so it looks like we may have kind of seen everything here. Let's go this way. And no. I see some Ratkin, I see some Savant guards. Boy, we've got a lot going on here. So I'm going to put the melee fighters on the 2 Ratkin hunters here. Lulu is going to put the 6 Ratkin thieves to sleep with the poet's loot. There it is. Sado. What is Sado going to do? Sado is going to... Whirlwind's never that effective, right? We'll do a high level blades on those 5. And Danny is going to target the Savant Guard with 1 high level energy blast. We'll see what we can make happen here. That poet's loot was super effective. Blade's decent tonight. Okay. Alright. So not quite as much accomplished as I had hoped. Sado's just gonna, and we will magic, no, let's do an ice ball here. Ice ball right there. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, very, very doable here. One down. It always surprises me how hard Danny hits with that staff. and that just leaves a Savant card. That was a big encounter for a random encounter. Key, huh? Wonder what kind of key they dropped. Let's see. Where'd it go? Iron key. Okay. Which way? Let's keep going this way. Nothing here. Let's go this way. Oh yeah, now it looks like we're kind of getting into it, right? Maybe, maybe not. Oh yeah, here we are. I don't know, that looks like something. Let me save. No, it's not. It's just... Mountain path here is emptied into the forest. I feel like this will connect with the road somewhere. Yeah. Let me go back to the mountains because I know specifically that this area has stuff in it. Oh wow. A giant. We found the giant. So this is Giant Mountain from the map. Okay. This ties in, from going off my memory, Giant Mountain ties in with the witches that we've read about. We have a book about them here on one of the characters, but we've not seen or have much information about. Oh wow, critical on the giant. Fantastic. These guys give good experience points. That single giant was like 3,000. If I remember right, there's a lot of them here. There's a steep trail which leads up the mountain here. Okay, so we're going to remain here for now because I'm going to save before we try to climb because my team's climbing skills, not the best. Like I've been throwing points into climbing, but it's not like swimming. So we may have to do some re-rolling here. Climb up the mountain. You skillfully navigate the treacherous climb. All right, now I see Danny is low. There's a steep trail which leads down the mountain here. I'll remain here for now. So we're on the second level of the mountain. If you think back to when we played Bane of the Cosmic Forge, and we were in that mountain outside of the castle, it's like that. In fact, it's just like that. So let's rest up. I want to see Danny's hit points tick up just maybe one more notch. And then I'll do some healing. Come on, Danny. Alright, well, it doesn't seem to be, so let's heal up. Bloop. So here you can see the mountain that we climbed up, and we're on like the next tier of that mountain. Since these are airborne creatures, I'm going to use Whirlwind. And maybe a low-level magic missile. Just to soften them up a little bit. Hit them with that low-level magic missile. Looks like everyone fell asleep. That's awesome. Okay, the rest of these we can take out with melee attacks. Oh man, another one. Oh, we got a giant and a fire crow. So we're gonna focus everybody on the giant for now. They throw Danny on that fire crow. We criticaled the last giant. I want to see if we can maybe get lucky and do the same. Man, he can take a lot of hits. There we go. So nothing there. A couple different paths to go. Two rock lizards. Let's just see if we can chop through them. There we go. Man. Back to back. Alright, so these glow mothras, they have some pretty nasty debuff attacks. So we'll try to put them to sleep, and I think we'll try to freeze these guys out too. That went pretty good. Let's see what's down this path. From the tree hang long, thick vines. growing across the ground and up the mountain hundreds of feet long. Let me hang on before I climb up any further. Let me see what's over here, if anything, and then we'll come back. See if we can clear this level of the mountain first. 2 giants. This could be tricky. Let's try to put them to sleep. Let's try a spell we don't try often. Same with this. Let's try Crush. Nope, no sleep. Oh wow, it critted one though. Death and Crush did nothing. Got lucky with that critical hit though. All right. 19,000. Oh, and Trevi's leveled up. I'm going to put this in climbing for obvious reasons. Learned a new Lord spell. We are going to... I mean, it doesn't really matter. We'll just go with Armor Plate. And so, oh, there's a steep trail which leads up the mountain here. So there's 2 paths up. Let's try to climb this. And we'll come back to the vine later. So we're going to save and resume. Climb up the mountain. Alright, so now we're on another tier. There's a steep trail that leads down. Nope, not right now. So a vine path and a trail path. Two Bantari, 2 wood dryads. Let me get these dryads out of the way quick. They like to cast spells. Danny will throw a fireball at the Bantari. Good hits from Danny, but it didn't kill him. And there we go. A potion, huh? I'm curious. What is this potion? We don't know. Stink bomb. Should have guessed by the color. Alright, so... Two more Bantari here. just going to see if we can melee. Because we hit them pretty good. That's like 25, 30. One down. And two down. And we have a level for Denny. And we've maxed out Thaumaturgy on our mage. So what's next? Mythology, Scribe. Prismatic Missile, Firestorm, Nuclear Blast, and there it is. That's your tilt-a-weight for you old school Wizardry fans. Deep Freeze, Resurrection, Astral Gate. We got some good stuff here. Of course, we're just gonna have to go with Nuclear Blast. I mean, you just have to have it. There's a steep trail that leads up the mountain here. Another trail up. Oh my god, okay. I'm going to remain here for now and explore the rest of this section. Oh man, so we've got a labyrinth of mountain here. That's what we've got. It'd be really easy to get lost here. I may have to pull out the Wizardry 7 hint guide in case we get lost. 2 more Bantari. Another path up, so we have 3 paths up here. So it'll be easy to remember. So let's go ahead and climb up from here. Let's save. After we climb up, we'll probably have to rest because climbing seems to diminish the stamina. Maybe not so much. So we'll keep going before we rest. Uh-oh, what do we have here? A soft apparition appears upon the mountainside. She pauses momentarily, gazing in your direction. There is something she is holding in her hands. She then turns away and soon vanishes without a trace. Ooh, okay. Could this be one of the witches, I wonder? We get ahead of ourselves. Two giants. You know, I gotta see. Let's do a nuclear blast at level 1. How high does it go? 112. Good God. Let's do a level 1. Let's just see how strong a level 1 nuclear blast is. I feel like it's gonna nuke the whole group. It gets an AoE attack. Level 1 hit for 17 damage, 16 damage. Not going to hurt these guys too much, but to give you an idea. So if level 1 hit for, say, 15 damage, then a level 6 is going to... It's going to hurt. And it was a AoE spell, too. So that'll be a good spell to take out large groups. Excuse me. So Lulu's out of stones for the sling. Another trail leading up the mountain. I'll remain here for now because I want to see what's over here. So many paths. I can definitely see me having to get the book out just for the maps. Got 3 giant lizards. I think we'll throw a little ice ball at these guys. Soften them up a little bit. From a tree hang long, thick vines, growing across the ground and up the mountain hundreds of feet long. Alright, so we have 2 paths here, the trail or the vines. Let's climb up the vine, let's just see. The vines appear supple and sturdy, but cling so gently to the mountain face that a quick yank parts them from their grasp, tumbling them back onto the ground in a heap. I see, okay. So the vines you don't climb, you pull them down. And if I remember correctly, you can combine them. That's right. It makes like a rope or something. Alright. So there's really only one path. So we will take this opportunity to rest up. There we go. Let's get our spells back up. So looky here, the ground is changing. This is whatever the goal of the mountain is. It's going to be up here, ascending into the dark sable crown of the Witch Mountains. You feel as if about to set foot upon an ethereal stage of unnatural forces. So we've reached the dungeon portion of the mountains, I guess. Yes, indeed, here we are. It's a cave. A strange sound can be heard from somewhere distant. It sounds like a woman crying. Then it sounds like it is calling out to someone. And then it turns into a spoken whisper. But it is too faint for you to make out the words. Three spirits. We're going to dispel. Alright, so dead end. Two spirits. Let's just fight these. I want to say I shouldn't be here yet. I feel like there's something else I needed to do before I came to the Witch Mountains. I could be wrong about that. We'll find out soon enough. A cold shiver suddenly passes through you, but you see nothing. It must have only been the wind, but it has left you feeling cold, so cold. Oh. And Sato is silenced. Do we have anything to fix that? I could wrest it away. That'll waste all my buffs there. Actually, now that I do that, I think Trevi had a Cure Light condition, maybe. Spell. It's okay. If there's witches afoot, we definitely want the magic screen up. Danny says hello. Hey, Danny. Thanks for tuning in. I hope it's going well. Haven't seen you in a little while. Always glad to have you. Still playing the same old game. We're wrapping it up, though. We're getting close to the end. I'd say we're more than 3/4 of the way done. Navigating a cave in the Witch Mountains. character just learned the spell Nuclear Blast. Upon the wall of the cavern hangs a mirror of black stone. As you approach, a spectral face with teeth of gold appears within. Rats' tails and demon's blood. Under what name be under South Witch Hood? Okay, so let's take a step back. One of our characters has a book, and I bet you the clue is in this book. Let's see. Helinda? Maybe. Let me take a picture of the spelling there. Helinda. South Witch Hood. So in fact, let me read this out. It's a lot to read, but good lord, it is a lot to read. We're going to read it. The Witch's Tale. Once upon a time there was a goodly witch by the name Helinda, who was very powerful and beautiful. She lived high upon a mountain, and ruled all the lands below her as far as the eye could see. Being a fair and just witch, she was provider and benefactor to all the animals dwelling within her domain, and often appeared to passing strangers in times of need. She had been born of parents who also were witches, and had inherited the power to foretell the future, a very rare and special gift, even for a witch. But coming from a family of witches, she was not an only child. 4 sisters, envious of her beauty and jealous of her power, also lived in the mountains, and as every day passed, they became more and more resentful of her popularity and her goodness. So the 4 sisters banded together and decided they would undo all the good that Helinda had done, and tormented her, and be just as nasty as they could. The 4 sisters took upon themselves the names of the North, the South, the East, and the West, so they would cover all of the lands around them, and ensure that no foul deed would go undone. But for every dirty trick, for every heinous crime, for every little bit of badness that they could do, Helinda was always there to thwart them, and turn their horrible deeds into good ones. For remember, Helinda could see into the future, and always knew what her sisters were going to do, even before they themselves knew. And so the day finally came when the 4 sisters said enough was enough, and the time had come for them to put a stop to Helinda once and for all. One night, while Helinda lay sleeping, dreaming of good things, they sneaked into her chamber and invoked a terrible magic spell upon her. They cast a spell to steal her face. Her beautiful face, her nose, her mouth, her ears, and her enchanted eyes were severed and plucked from her, and each of the sisters took a part of Helinda's face, so that then they would all have a share of their sister's magical power and of her beauty. But Helinda was wise to them, and she had foreseen what her sisters were planning to do, and that night before she slept she anointed herself with a special potion, which turned her face into gold. And when her mouth, her nose, her ears, and her eyes were stolen, it did not hurt her, and she did not die. And because her features were no longer flesh and bone, each of the 4 sisters' own face was replaced with a part of gold. But Helinda was cut off from the outside world alone and with no face. The 4 sisters now rule the mountains and terrorize the surrounding lands and do all kinds of horrible things. And to repay Helinda for her cleverness, and cursing them with a feature of gold, every night they torment her, sending demons and spooks and ghouls and fiends to poke and tear at her, and make her feel just awful. They say that the 5 sisters still live in those mountains, and that every night, just before the witching hour, if you look through a witching glass, you can see the spirits come down into the forest dancing their dance of torture, cruelty, and pain around Helinda. And that to this very day she still roams the mountains, waiting for someone to make her whole and beautiful again, waiting for someone to bring back her face, the end. So the book really doesn't give us a name for the South Sister. A mirror of black stone. As you approach, a spectral face with teeth of gold appear within. Rats' tails and demon's blood. What name be under South Witch Hood? So I'm going to say Halinda. I don't know if that's the right answer. Apparently that was the wrong answer. South Witch Hood. There must be a bigger clue somewhere in the area. South Witch Hood. Okay, so this is a come back to it area. The Book of Fables did not give us a name for the other witches. So the answer must lie in here somewhere. I bet you there is a mirror for every witch. Actually, this connects here. Let's make the connection. There we go. Yep, this is another... Nope. You see a moving swarm of dainty glowing lights up ahead. Dragon lizard. I like this cave. The little lights seem to be moving, always ahead of you. The tiny lights have disappeared into the darkness. From out of the darkness, the swarming stars engulf you. Three witches' lights. Let's cast Bless on the party. And let's use our new nuclear blast. We'll do level 2 this time. Boom. Okay. Oh, I see a treasure chest. A bear weevil. Man. So maybe this chest holds an item of interest, an item that gives us a clue as to what to do. So we're going to save. Could be magic sparks. Could be a life stealer. In fact, I'm going to assume it's Lifestealer. That would be the worst option. Oh, Magic Sparks. Oh, my. Man, that was some brutal damage. Alright, let's see what this loot is. Let's see what we found. No idea. So let's identify. Bat necklace. Oh man, we're gonna have to really up the identification on this one. Haunting stick. Cool. Let's give that to and then what was the other thing? A powder. Crushed Widows. Doesn't somebody else already have one of those? We did, right? Just a poison powder. I don't even want that. Alright, so not the awesome chest we had hoped for. Okay. Let's see what's around this corner. Vampire Vultures. Boy, these guys were tough earlier. So tell you what, let's change this up here. Let's focus the melee attackers on the 2. So I think we'll explore a little bit of this here before I call it a night. Like I said when I started the stream tonight, it was going to be a shorter stream as we kind of dip back into it. But I'm totally digging this dungeon. Man, blades did nothing. Man, Lulu's looking rough, so let's think hard about this here. And Seto's going to go ahead and do some healing on Lulu here. Let's go ahead and do a level 3 nuke. Boom. Respectable damage. Kyler's in rough shape too. All right. So 1 or 2 of these is not too bad, but when we get a group this big, it's trouble. Big trouble. All right. 20,000 experience points off that. Holy moly. All right, so this just keeps going. So yes, this I think would be an excellent stopping point for tonight. Tomorrow, when I resume, we're going to go ahead and continue on in this cave. I feel like ultimately we may have to backtrack a little bit. We'll just have to see. Because there's still parts of the mountain that we've not gone up and down. But I think the answer to whatever is in the cave is actually in the cave. We'll see. We'll see. But thanks for tuning in. I apologize for the long absence. Danny, thanks for popping in and saying hi. And I will be back tomorrow. Let's just see what popped up here. A spectral raven. Let's take that out before we go. Alright. And this is where we'll stop. But I will see everybody tomorrow. And until then, I hope you guys have a great evening.